Hi, my name is Sierra Blackwood, and I'm here to tell you why you should adopt dogs from shelters versus adopting dogs from breeders. Did you know that each year 4 million dogs nationwide are put into shelters? 1.2 million dogs each year nationwide are euthanized. This is so hard to believe because shelter dogs are so much cheaper than breeder dogs. Shelter dogs can start out completely free, and breeder dogs are usually a couple $100s. There are so many dogs in shelters that need homes, approximately 4 million a year, and this adds up, which will be 8 million in 2 years, 12 million in 3 years, and eventually that's a lot of dogs who need homes. They all come from really sad or sketchy situations, whether they're picked up off the side of the road, their owner passed away and there was no one left to take care of them, someone just didn't have the means to take care of them or the money, or they were abused by their previous owners. They're ready for love and affection as soon as you get them because they like that. They didn't get that from before, so they're ready for someone to take care of them, protect them, love them, feed them, and they'll just be a lifelong companion. I know this personally because my dog Kodak is a shelter dog. I got him from a rescue shelter 2 years ago, and he is the best, funniest, most loving dog I have ever had in my life. He makes my day every day, and we're always doing things together. We like to go to the park. He's gone on vacations with me. He's seriously my best friend, and I would choose him 1,000,000 times over a breeder dog. Once dogs have been in a shelter for a long time or a shelter becomes overrun, they begin to euthanize the dogs, which is where the vet gives them a shot to put them down. And this is really sad and unfair, and this is all because people don't want to adopt the dogs and they choose breeder dogs instead. So shelters, they don't have enough money, enough people to take care of all the dogs. They're completely overrun. There's no more room for any other dogs or anything. Shelter dogs can start out completely free, whereas breeder dogs start out from $300 to $3,000. I've seen teacup dogs like teacup poodles or chihuahuas start out at $2,500, and people actually buy them. And that's just crazy to me when there are dogs in shelters that need homes and are so loving and ready, and you can get them completely free. Shelter dogs also will come with their vet records, their shots, all their papers, and if they're old enough, they'll be spayed or neutered, and if they're not old enough, they'll give you papers that will cover it, so when they're ready to get spayed or neutered, they can get spayed or neutered. That's what I did for my dog because he was too young, so they gave me papers, and I took him and it was completely covered. Shelters are so overrun. One of the reasons that shelters are so overrun is because people will choose a dog because of their looks or their breed. So they'll buy from a breeder and they'll spend a ton of money on a dog and not realize how much time and commitment it is to have a dog. And so they'll give it away or give it up and they end up in shelters. That's how a lot of dogs do end up in shelters, and they become so overrun. People think that if you buy a dog from a shelter, it won't be a certain breed or it'll be a mutt, but that's not true because a lot of dogs that are purebred end up in shelters, and you can get them for a very, very low price versus paying $1,000, and they're taken care of and have their shots and everything. In conclusion, I've talked to you about the price of dogs, the difference in prices from shelter dogs and breeder dogs. I've talked to you about the amount of dogs that are put into shelters every year and the amount of dogs that are euthanized every year. These facts alone should be enough to persuade someone to want to go get a dog from a shelter versus from a breeder. And shelters also don't have a lot of money like coming in and stuff because their main clients are dogs who can't pay them. So you kind of want to help the shelters and help them out and help the dogs out by supporting them and buying dogs from them so that they can keep getting dogs and keeping them and providing them for us to adopt. So all in all, shelter dogs are better than breeder dogs, and you can change a dog's life today. Good job.